Why do you think you only date white women?
One, a lot of the Asian women that I'm attracted to are dating white guys. Number two is there's probably like internal validation thing of like immigrant family growing up seeing Caucasian women on movies. And there's just like this sense of I will be validated if I date a white woman. That doesn't feel fully true when I say it.
See, I actually think a lot of people think it's like a superiority thing. But I almost think if we're associated with the white person, then we won't get mistreated anymore because it's like we get to hide behind them.
I can kind of see what you're saying. I don't get the mistreated things. I don't really experience kind of that. But I do think there is a similar sort of thing of like, if I get married to a white woman, I'm out of America, which is crazy because I was born here and So
there is a part of you that felt like you didn't fit in, which is like very valid.
I think that's like 20% for me. Like it's not a huge thing.
The idea is just like, I look good with a white chick on my.
Well, to be sure, I like every color of women, obviously.
If they're hot enough.
And nice enough.
Hey, mommy, I don't think as Ethiopians we're ready to have the conversation that we love cosplaying African American when it benefits us, from permission to using the N-word to being credited for or profiting off of the ingenuity of Black Americans by blending in because of our skin color, i.e. people trusting, loving, and endorsing Black Americans for good food, music, language, fashion, social justice movements, arts, etc. Everything that erupted out of this beautiful culture. Basically, we love clout chasing African American culture for our own benefits, but when it really comes down to it, when it comes down to being Black, we'll play model, citizen, immigrant in a hot second for our own convenience, forsaking our Black brothers and sisters for any opportunity, no, for even much less, for a man or a moment. Yeah. I don't think we're ready for that either. My bad.
Where was God and Jesus at during slavery? I'm talking about the uncomfortable, explicit details of it. Let's just think about how the families got broke up, right? You got mom, dad, sister, brother, grandma. When they decided, oh, let's split them all up so we could change the whole narrative of where they came from. Where was he at? Nowhere did he step in knowing the after effects, all knowing, send grandma to Mississippi, send dad to Louisiana, send a daughter after they do you know what to her, send her to Alabama. Then we could say, your ancestors, we went and grabbed y'all from Africa, knowing damn well grandma and them was already native to here. He didn't think to step in, because now we got a bunch of lost people, or buck breaking, for example. Take the strongest slave, torture him in front of everybody, hold him down, and they did what to him to assert their dominance. Because that wasn't like a 1 second thing, that whole process, he didn't step in and go, hold, y'all going too far. This went on for years. Nowhere in there did he step in. The lynchings, the whippings, the barbecues, they would literally set our ancestors on fire and eat them. The cannibalism, nowhere in there did he stop in and be like, all right, hold on, y'all going too far. And then using the so-called religion to justify it, obeying your master. Well, y'all did something wrong, and we punishing y'all because y'all need to go through this, but y'all gotta forgive us. Otherwise, y'all not gonna make it to heaven. And they getting the land, they getting to eat what they want. We eating the slop, we eating the pig. Nowhere during these hundreds of years of this shit, yo, Heavenly Father step in and go, all right, wait a minute. I need to put an end to this. What was he doing? Was he playing 2K the whole time? What the hell was going on? And the fact that we had to fight and get out of it. And even the history, they tell us, oh, Abraham Lincoln, he felt bad, so they stopped it. No, we fought our ass off to get out of that stuff. They told us slaves travel north. What they don't tell you is like the Seminole Revolution, where we traveled back south and fought. We came back with guns in the army, and it got so out of hand, they had to say, hey, we got to do something about this whole slavery thing, which they didn't really change it for the 13th Amendment. Now, prison is the new slavery, but that's a different discussion. But damn, even with this, your God still ain't stepped in. What the hell was he doing during slavery? I want a real answer.
Mississippi Valley State University was just invited to Trump's inauguration to play for the entire world to hear. And HBCU, I mean, these kids been playing since they were probably little kids. These kids been playing instruments since 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. And they're about to be on a world stage for Germany to hear them, Denmark to hear them, Africa can hear them, Australia's going to hear them. Everybody's going to be watching his inauguration, hearing these young black kids that grew up and dreamed of playing on a world stage for everybody to hear. This is one of the biggest stages they ever going to play on. And guess who's got a problem with it? Black people. Black people. Now, see, black people didn't have a problem when Kamala Harris had Beyonce paying her $10 million. Didn't have a problem paying Meg Thee Stallion millions of dollars to twerk in front of everybody so the world can see how stupid black people can really look at a presidential inauguration. Nobody had a problem with that. No. But black people got a problem when black people are being put on a world stage, not by somebody black, by Trump, who funded and promised future funding for HBCUs. They're still getting those funds to this day. HBCUs partly exist in the way they do because of legislation that Trump put on the books. Not because of Obama or anybody else put on the books, but because of Trump. And Trump is like, not only do I want to help you at the HBCU, I want you to come and play at my inauguration. I want everybody to see all you young black children that used to be 7 years old playing saxophones, 13-year-olds playing drums, trombones at 19. I want you to come play on a world stage to show people how talented our black young Americans are. On a world stage, the only people that got a problem is black people. I made a video saying the most racist people we got to this day are black people. You believe me now? Now you see what I'm saying? Racist against ourselves. How can we sit and be mad at ourselves for having the limelight to show people we are great musicians, we are very talented, we are educated, we do go to college to do things other than play sports? And the only people upset about that.
The White House said today that a broad Chinese hacking operation had infiltrated at least 8 American telecommunication companies, and that none of them have managed to remove these Chinese hackers from their systems. Nick Schifrin has been following this all and joins us now. So, Nick, what did the White House say today?
The White House gave new details on what is believed to be the largest hack on American telecommunications firms in U.S. history. As you said, Chinese hackers infiltrated at least 8 communications firms in the United States, and over the last 1 to 2 years, quote, dozens of telecommunications companies across Asia and Europe, and the hack was ongoing. Deputy National Security Advisor for Cyber and Emerging Technology Ann Neuberger said today.
The affected companies are all responding. Right now, we do not believe any have fully removed the Chinese actors from these networks. So there is a risk of ongoing compromises to communications. Until U.S. companies address the cybersecurity gaps, the Chinese are likely to maintain their access.
Today, intelligence officials were on the Hill briefing all 100 senators in a classified hearing about the Chinese hackers known as Salt Typhoon. And our Lisa Desjardins caught up with Texas Republican John Cornyn.
The Chinese Communist Party has infiltrated the telecommunication systems here in the United States in a dramatic and unprecedented sort of way, and it's a subject of tremendous concern. I'm sure you're going to hear more about it because it affects a lot of people, and a lot of, not just in this country, but around the world.
Yesterday, Jeff, a senior FBI official admitted the Bureau still did not know how deeply the Chinese hackers had penetrated, even though the Bureau had been investigating since the spring, and it could take years to know the true scope of the hack.
Do we know, though, who has been targeted?
Intelligence officials describe 3 baskets or 3 groups of targets, essentially. Number 1, a large number of users whose phone metadata was stolen. Number 2, a small group of individuals whose audio calls and text messages were specifically targeted and successfully intercepted. Number 3, the portal that law enforcement uses to submit court orders to telecommunications and internet service providers. And I want to keep that list up for the moment. On the first group, whose metadata was stolen, a senior administration official said today it was, quote, a large number of Americans, but would not provide the number, but it had a, quote, regional focus, suggesting it was designed to find members of the second group, whose calls were intercepted and included senior members of the Trump and Harris campaigns.
And how has China responded to all of this?
In a statement, Chinese embassy spokesman Liu Pengyu told me that the U.S. claims were, quote, disinformation. And he continued, quote, China firmly opposes and combats all kinds of cyber attacks. The U.S. needs to stop its own cyber attacks against other countries and refrain from using cybersecurity to smear and slander China. U.S., Jeff, is believed to conduct the same surveillance around the world, and I do use that term surveillance. U.S. officials use that term because this is not designed, as far as they can tell, to destroy any critical infrastructure. It is instead designed to conduct espionage, to collect information. No signs that any of this is being leaked online.
All right, so this is where we are at this moment in time, and I have to keep coming right back to this topic because I notice deafening silence directly online. And what I mean by that is this image here. So in the two images, in the stills, that Eve, who was a rapper, you might know her from Rough Riders if you're old enough, and you remember her from the 90s and all of these things, or even one of the talk shows that she might have been on. She ended up getting married to a white billionaire and being a stepmother to white children. Now, I want to note also, a lot of women would also state that they will never be a stepmother to anybody's kids. But as you can clearly see, I guess if the money is right, they will be a stepmother for anybody. And Eve in this image is the only person, she is the only Black American at this table. It almost is reminiscent of a Get Out film or of a quote unquote slave film, as some people would like to say if the roles were reversed. And when I saw this photo online, I noticed that I didn't see a field of comments. I didn't see 5 to 10K comments directly out there trying to bash, trying to talk negatively, trying to state that, oh, Eve must not love her father. She must not love herself. She must not love her community. She must not love whatnot or whatever, dealing with the Black community. This is a form of self-hatred and yada, yada. Didn't see any of that. The silence was deafening. But in the moving image that you can clearly see, there is a Black American NFL player that is on the field proposing to his white significant other. And usually when you see things like this, you'll see droves of women, specifically Black women, that will state that, oh, this is what we're talking about with Black men. They don't like Black women. They hate Black women. As soon as they get some money, they'll leave you for a white girl. They never want to marry a Black woman. The wealth is it's always that same conversation. I'm like, that's a little bit weird, because I'm like, okay, Eve is a Black woman who obviously has money. Even without the billionaire, Eve has money. But she opted not to get married to a Black man, but it's not questionable. Nobody's going to try to make it a questionable offense. But when it deals with a Black man that has a little bit of money and he's getting married to a white significant other, supernaturally now it's some type of debate. We have to find a psychological reasoning because of this. It has to be because of Willie Lynch. It has to be because of slavery. It has to be because of self-hatred. It has to be because he doesn't love his mother. It has to be because he doesn't love his sister, his grandmother. It has to be because he just, wants to disrespect Black women. It has to be because he wants to make a mockery of himself, and yada, yada. It has to be because he just wants to, be a slave to yada. It's always that type of thing, and I always found that weird. Always found it weird. Even when I've pointed these things out on my channel, I would still receive the exact same silence. I would have the ones out there that want to be loud and vocal whenever it is that a Black man is in these type of relationships. They want to say, oh, well, this is what you get, you deserve what you get, da-da-da, all this other type of stuff. But then when it's one of their peers, when it's a Black woman who is doing the exact same thing that a Black man is doing, oh, it's for the better. Oh, you know why she had to do it? These Black men are sitting up here just taking this out every single second of every single minute, every single hour, every single day, every single month, every single week, every single year. It would always be these type of stats to, in a sense, justify why it is that it is okay for a Black woman to do it. And the main thing that I've tried to tell people before is you've had a lot of conditioning that has had to go on for years. And I've been looking at this since the 2000s. Every single time I would see a brand new commercial, it doesn't matter if it was a soup commercial, car commercial, fashion, grocery, cleaning, they would always pair a Black woman with a white man. And if a Black woman was not paired with a white man and she had kids, then they would give her the appearance of the single mother. If it wasn't a Black woman that was paired with a white man and having kids, if it wasn't the appearance of a black woman being a single mother with 2 kids, then they would pair that black woman with herself and make her look independent, make her look like Superwoman, make her look like she can do anything in the world. They would just make sure to never pair her up with a black man. But they would make sure to also always show you the dysfunction every single time. So it will be no rest when it deals with the dysfunction between black men and black women. There will always be some type of stressors. There would always be a bad relationship. There's always some type of drama or something negative always going on. But whenever they would pair a black woman with any other grouping of men, it was perfect. It was ideal. It was complete silence. It was peace on earth. But like I said before, people don't pay attention. Well, last but not least, we have this image. You have a woman that went to a concert. The guy called her up, the artist, and called her up on stage. And she, as you can clearly see, was all over the artist. And so much so that her skirt came a little bit. There was nothing really showing, but I had to do it because YouTube acts funny with a lot of stuff. And what inevitably end up happening is that once this video got on social media, the husband caught wind and he just couldn't believe it. He was like, wow, divorce. That's exactly what happened. Because when she went up on stage, the woman not only started acting stupid, but she was pretty much all over the artist, kissing him all over his face. I think kissed him directly on the lips and everything like that. And then she gave some type of thank you speech as if she won the lottery or something, like crazy stuff. And this is why a lot of guys happen to say that there is no reason to get married. There is no reason. You're going to have some people out there, we should have known how she was. How? You don't know how any woman is going to act when they meet the celebrity that they admire, that they love oh so much. You just don't know. No man is ever going to know that up until that moment actually happens. Case in point, look at the photos with Chris Brown. Look at the videos of Usher, and you can clearly see how a lot of women will act. And these are women who are married. These are women who got boyfriends. So, like I said before, crazy. But mind you, if it was reversed and men were losing their minds and acting the exact same way, women would not tolerate it. Women would have a problem. They would break up. They would want a divorce. They would say or try to insinuate that, oh, he must be cheating. He must be doing this or that. If he really loved the woman that he was with, and he would never act anything like that towards or with another woman, no matter who she is, and yada, yada. Like I said before, there's a lot of double standards directly out here. This is one of the few men who stood directly on principle and was like, hey, you want to be out here embarrassing yourself? No problem. You're not going to embarrass me any further. If you want to continue to do what you're doing, I'm going to allow you the leeway, and we're going to get a divorce. And I hope he showcases that video directly to the courts. I hope he showcases that video directly to the courts, because like I said before, that's ridiculous. That is 100% ridiculous. And if the divorce does go through, she doesn't get any money, because again, this is on her. Nobody told her to go to that concert and act that way. Nobody told her to go to that concert and put her lips all over that artist. Nobody told her to go to the concert dressed that way either. Like I said before, you're a married woman and you want to go out there dressing as if you are single. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. It's different when single women want to go out there dressed like that because they're looking for attention. They're trying to get the eyes of men or men that they feel are potential suitors. I get that. But when you're married, it's a whole different story. You shouldn't be looking for attention, because the only attention that you need is the attention of your husband. Just like the only attention that your husband needs is the attention from you. Like I said before, there's a lot of double standards out there. A lot of women don't want to call it out, and it is what it is. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment section below if you made it this far. Also, let me know that in the comment section below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.